I couldn't do it. I'd probably kill myself. You know what I mean? I just couldn't live with myself like that. I certainly couldn't look my son in the eye. You know what I mean? But that's me. And maybe that's me, PTS. Maybe I'm fucked up. Maybe that's my conscience, whatever the fuck that is. But do you see what I'm saying? I don't know. I haven't quite had that confront of truth or evil, depending on what you want. But I don't know what the fuck anybody wants out of it.
Well,
Who's like all this money is a big thing. Where does it go?
Well, we see recently there was a video released of Tom Cruise's birthday aboard the Free Winds, and I understand that there was 6 figures spent on the birthday party for Tom, and that's parishioners' money going to keep Tom Cruise happy.
Well, they figure that's worth it. According to him, he brings in just him being Tom Cruise. Per their viewpoint, he probably brings in $100,000 a day for this church in terms of interest and positive public relations, and so 6 figures ain't dick.
Right.
It's certainly. You could throw a party for him every day and it wouldn't really put a dent in their bank account. So I don't know what a party, people like to get mad at COs who take these big things, and Tom Cruise is party, and there was the fucking Free Winds is, let me tell you, is a flea bag. I mean, it's not a fucking nice boat, I mean, I've been on that thing. I got seasick every time. So.
But speaking of Tom Cruise, you were talking earlier about your identity being stripped and being replaced with that of Scientologist, and certainly you can see that in Tom Cruise and in the recent videotape that was released.
Yeah, but I would suspect that that's what's happened, and he was off for a while, and he's in gung-ho. I'm sure he went through a big ethics cycle and woke up, because he probably had some trouble with his wife and he found his ruin. I think he's probably, I would just, maybe he has trouble with girls or something like that. That might be his whatever. I don't know. Anyway, he's...
But at any rate, he seems like the, ideal of what a Scientologist should be. I mean, dedicated...
Well, I was in there. COB called me the poster boy for Scientology. I was as gung-ho as you could get.
How did it turn around for you? Why did you start to doubt?
Well, it not only didn't work anymore, the more auditing I did, which I was more and more encouraged to do, the worse I got. I was starting to go fucking crazy. And it was fucking me up.
How far up the bridge did you go?
I'm a Class 5, OT5. I've done all my L's. Done a lot of, what do you call those fucking things? All those other courses, data series things, and blah, blah, blah.
So once you left, how did you leave?
They wouldn't let me leave. They just kept saying no. And so I said, okay, give me my money back. And that what I had was, money on account. And per their policy, if you asked for your money, that was it.
And they did give it back?
They gave my wife's money back. They offered to give me my money back. And I'm still in they want me to sign a piece of paper that says that I have no further claim against them. And I told them I can't do that because I feel I do. And I just said, I don't have the time or the money to get into a legal battle. Even like, let's say $1 million they probably owe me, conservatively. And in this country, you could do pain and suffering. Maybe I could get a couple extra bucks. I just don't.
It's tough to litigate Scientology.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sign some paper that says I don't. I just couldn't. It's just my own integrity. I couldn't say that.
So what's happened since you left Scientology? I know I was talking to your wife a little bit earlier, and she was talking about how, the friends cut off from her who, those who were still in Scientology.
Yeah, well, Jesus. I got a little son, too. And he was in a little Scientology school. And he was 4 at the time. And no school was started. We moved. So we're in the process of moving. So it was pretty, and moving to a big, we moved to this big property out here. It's a big different thing, and it's a long way away. And they kicked him out of school.
It was a Scientology school.
No, yeah, they kicked him out. So he had nothing to do, and it fucked him up. Because he had, you know, why can't I see my friends? And that was all his friends. And, you know, and this was a time when, you know, Mom and Dad were really busy. I'm working. We've got a little tiny infant at the time. And we're moving to an enormous thing. And plus, this whole place you're in was under construction. There was a period we were in one of those Airstream type of things, you know. And nothing for him to do, and that was so that was one. So yeah, our friends, I mean, I knew I could see I was pulling away, so I'm kind of an antisocial personality anyway, so I don't really hang around people, you know. But my wife, you know, with the kids and stuff, she I remember there's a girl. A wonderful girl, Kelly Daniels, terrific chick, and she found out, you know, some ethics person told her, and she just was inconsolable, you know. So I know there were a lot of broken hearts on the other side, and now there's not. I saw some fucking kid like that I hardly know, you know. I do voiceovers too, so I went to a voiceover, and there was some kid from Scientology. And like usually if I'd see him at a voice, I'd be, hey, Jason, you know. And he went, you know, and I just said, you fucking punk. That's what I said to him. It's just like, you see that's it in a nutshell. You know, both of them are alive. The Jason, because we're Scientologists, and because you're out. And so when you look at the thing about, it's really, really, the data shows from the fact, like Tori's husband left her. These people, their families are just, there's the proof. There's the proof. You're incapable of being a good friend if you're a Scientologist. Because you're a Scientologist. And Jason Beghe, the Scientologist, is willing to lose David. Is willing to sacrifice certainly the quality of my relationship with Mom and Dad and brothers and sisters. And God knows who else that I could have made friends with that weren't Scientologists. Because whatever, maybe they just didn't understand or whatever. And my whole fucking, the most important thing in my life, for me, again, going back to who I was as a kid, was a guy who was interested in people. And I wasn't like judging people, like, I was just willing to be them. And maybe that's why I became an actor. And I grew up in New York. And I was like, this is people, people, people. Every day growing up, I would meet somebody. You're on the subway. And now, you know, people go to the Home Depot with me, and we go and I hang and we talk and we do a thing, and that's who I am. And to some degree, you're not able to communicate because you can't, you've got a bubble around yourself. It's this thing, and there's another way that part of the thing that made it a little bit easier for me to get out of Scientology than other people was that I would always look at the religion side. And it's like, because again, I was always interested in religion. And when they get exclusive, you gotta wonder, you know, in other words, you know, I don't have anything against anybody's religion. It's fine. But, you know, the evangelicals are the only ones going to heaven. And the Muslims are the only one going to Allah or whatever. And the Scientologists are the only people who know. I go, well, I don't think so. It doesn't make sense to me. You know, and there's an interesting story. Like one of the things that, like they said that, like one of the things that took the biggest hits on religion in this century was it fucked up a lot of people. You know, World War I was a vicious, awful war, different than others.